with your host, Andrew Romanella.
When you play Battle in Mario Kart and you don't turn off any of the items, there are bananas everywhere. I mean, it's like you're losing your balloons because you're slipping on bananas left and right. Bananas everywhere.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com, broadcasting live on YouTube and X. I am your host, Andrew Romanella, and it is a Friday, July 11th, and we got you for the next 30 minutes or so. So if you want to get in on the conversation, do that on youtube.com/12OZ Sports. If you aren't following the social medias, you should. The Rome Show 1. That's the Rome Show, then the number 1. It's in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. That's on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, all the social sites. The mothership handle is 12OZ Sports. If you miss any part of the show, or it's just so good, you want to share it with a friend while they're driving to work today or headed down the shore, as they do in the state of New Jersey, the Rome Show podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just a few days away from the Major League Baseball All-Star break. That will all start next week on Monday, July 14th, with the Home Run Derby, and then be followed up on Tuesday, July 15th, with the All-Star Game taking place in Atlanta, hosted by the Braves. We have a solid, is what I'd call it, a solid B lineup for the Home Run Derby next week on Monday. I would argue that of all of the all-star festivities, so take the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, and the MLB, I would put the Home Run Derby at the top of the list, okay? There's not much that goes on in the NFL skills competition that I'm that intrigued by, okay? The NHL, total body of work, all-star 2 days, I think is the best show between what they do the day before, then the 3-on-3 tournament that they turned the All-Star game into. I think they have the best overall All-Star break. The NBA, we've talked about this plenty of times in the history of this show. The NBA All-Star game's a joke. And now that 0 players that are of any interest to people in the league will do the dunk contest, that has taken a real hit in popularity. So for me, the Home Run Derby in Major League Baseball is at the top of the list of all-star game festivities in the 4 major sports. Why? Because Major League Baseball will generally get the game's best names to come perform in the Home Run Derby. So why I'm giving the 2025 Home Run Derby a B grade is because 3 of the top 10 home run hitters are in the field. Now, the number 1 home run hitter in Major League Baseball right now, Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners, who's hit 36 home runs, is in the competition. So you do have the chance to see the best home run hitter in the league right now. But if you were expecting to see Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Schwarber, or Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, Bryce Harper, those names, you are not getting any of those names today. So on Monday, 3 of the top 10 hitters home run wise in Major League Baseball, 5 of the top 17 home run hitters, and 6 of the top 30 home run hitters. Here is your list. Ronald Acuna Jr., he has 11 homers on the year, but he is the hometown Atlanta Brave competing in this contest. His farthest homer this year is 416 feet. He's only played in like 40-something games this year, so he's essentially hitting a homer every 4 games. We mentioned Cal Raleigh. He's a switch hitter, so that's an interesting aspect when it comes to the home run derby. Will he stay on one side? Will he be on one side and then call timeout and then hit from the other side. That'll be something interesting to watch, but he's got 36 on the year, as I mentioned before, 22 homers from the left side and 14 from the right side. Cal Raleigh's longest home run of the year was 440 feet. James Wood will be in the contest from the Nationals. He's 7th in the league in homers with 24, and he's got 10 homers this season, does James Wood, over 425 feet. That's good for 3rd in Major League Baseball. Byron Buxton of the Minnesota Twins will be in this contest. You might be thinking to yourself, Byron Buxton, the speed guy from the Twins? Feels like he's been kind of a utility guy. Doesn't feel like a home run hitter. Well, this year, 15th in the league with 20 homers. Byron Buxton is having a season for the Minnesota Twins. 15th in the league, 20 homers overall. Having a year for the Twins, hitting 270, 20 homers, 53 RBIs, and 881 OPS. Good for 16th in the league. Jazz Chisholm Jr. just announced last night on MLB TV as the final participant in the home run derby. Jazz is an entertaining cat, okay? So regardless of what his home run numbers are, which are pretty good, really good over the last month, Jazz Chisholm Jr. is somebody you want to watch at any time on a baseball field, especially, I'm going to believe, in the home run derby. He's got 17 homers on the season, but since June 3rd has 10. So really heating up over the last 5 weeks. O'Neal Cruz in the competition from the Pittsburgh Pirates. He has 16 home runs, good for 36th in the league. And then Junior Caminero from the Tampa Bay Rays. This is a really good young 22-year-old player with 20 homers on the season. 22 homers on the season, good for 9th in the league. Then finally, from the Oakland Las Vegas Athletics, Brent Rooker with 19 homers, 17th in Major League Baseball. I believe there's 6 or 7. I think actually it might be everybody but Ronald Acuna Jr. is a first-time home run derby participant. Listen, I think it's going to be enjoyable. I think it's going to be entertaining. I think these dudes are going to put on a show. I've always believed, like I said to start the show, the home run derby is the most entertaining all-star festivity in all 4 major sports. And regardless of what the numbers say, and maybe the names don't pop off the page, there's some fun, young talent in this home run derby that people should want to tune in for on Monday. While looking this up, by the way, and while thinking about the All-Star break and kind of looking forward to the second half of the Major League Baseball season, we talked about viewership yesterday for baseball. If you missed that, Rome Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast. And I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if this All-Star break thing has a little bit of adjusting they can do to maybe help the viewership of Major League Baseball. What do I mean by that? Well, we were talking about the NBA Summer League as well when it came to the creation of it and how it's helped people get an early look at stars in the NBA, which creates some buzz 3 months, 4 months before the season even starts. Well, with the Major League Baseball All-Star game, they have the Futures game. Okay. Then they have the Home Run Derby. They have the All-Star Celebrity Softball game, but that doesn't really matter for baseball. And then they have the All-Star game. Why doesn't baseball have something cool like a skills challenge? Like, you know, the game you play at the boardwalk where there are the 4 clowns lined up across left to right on 3 different rows, and you're throwing the ball at the clowns and you're trying to knock them down. Like, why don't we have that for Major League Baseball players? Why don't we have like a run and gun? We should have like a trash can at home plate, and all of the outfielders have to launch the ball from center field and see who can hit it in the trash can as many times. Like, I think showcasing the crazy athleticism of some of these baseball players in a skills competition, much like the home run derby, would be very positive and very beneficial for the sport of baseball. Like right now, much like the NHL speed skating competition around the rink, I would sign up for the league's 6 fastest players running home, first, second, third, and home like an inside the park home run and see who's fastest. That would be very entertaining to me. I would enjoy a throwing competition, a bunting competition, as I've seen done in like the Japanese league. A skills competition for Major League Baseball could be something to entertain that could also continue to grow the viewership of the sport and continue to put younger eyeballs on the game so that it grows the game from a lower level. And I don't know if this is possible because there's so much concern with arm injuries, and baseball players are already playing so many games at 162. But in terms of pure enjoyment for the fan, in terms of another aspect of how can we grow this game and put our talent in front of the fans so it's entertaining for them, a skills competition centered around the All-Star break could be it for Major League Baseball. You got any ideas on Major League Baseball's skills competition? Write in on youtube.com/12OZ Sports. You get us the comment, we could pop it on the screen. We're going to be collecting those comments. Maybe we'll send them in to Rob Manfred, and maybe the Rome Show could be the reason why Major League Baseball continues to grow in terms of popularity. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And as fast as this commercial break is going to go, is as fast as it's going to feel that football season is here. Yes, you heard that correctly, ladies and gentlemen. The National Football League will have teams in training camp by the time the Rome Show pops its microphone on at 7:05 in the morning on Monday morning. You heard that correctly, and we are going to break it down just a hair. Okay, just a hair. We're not diving deep here, but I want to give you an idea of what the early season schedule looks like in the National Football League in terms of training camp, Hall of Fame game, and some more. Here on the Rome Show, 12ouncesports.com. Stick with us after this commercial break. So much to do on a Friday.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Yeah. The Rome Show. 12ouncesports.com. Broadcasting live. YouTube. X. Find the mothership. It's pretty easy. Miss any part of the show, the Rome Show podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, the Rome Show 1. Social media handle. We talked Major League Baseball home run derby first half of the show. Share it with your friends. It's so easy. During the break, I was taking a look because we mentioned Summer League in the first half of the show. We mentioned Summer League in our Thursday episode. If you want to go listen to the Thursday show, Rome Show podcast. And I wanted to see what Cooper Flagg did in his first Summer League game. If you were wondering, I don't know if any of you are, but I was. Cooper Flagg in his first NBA Summer League game played 32 minutes, happened to be against the Bronny James Lakers. He was okay, had a really nice dunk, but really not that special. It kind of shows you that no matter how good you are as a prospect, there's still going to be a learning curve that you go through. 5 of 21 from the field, 10 points, 0 of 5 from 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover was the line for Cooper Flagg. House was packed. You've never seen a game that matters literally less than this one. Sold out. NBA Summer League. Genius concept. We'll see if Cooper Flagg's the real deal, number 1 overall pick this year to the Dallas Mavericks. I promise you football after the break, and we're going to give you some football, okay? Because on Saturday, the Los Angeles Chargers will break for training camp. You heard that correctly. Training camp. The official start of the 2025 National Football League season. The Los Angeles Chargers are the first team to enter training camp because they are also the first team to play a football game this year. They will be taking on the Detroit Lions in the Hall of Fame game on July 31st, just 20 days from now. You will be watching a National Football League game. How deep of a National League football game? Well, that's to be determined because it's the preseason. But we are 3 weeks away. By the time the All-Star game starts on Tuesday in Major League Baseball, the Chargers, Dolphins, Bills, Ravens, 49ers, and Seahawks will all be at training camp. All teams in the National Football League will have started training camp by July 23rd. So yeah, you're getting National Football League football starting this month, and I know that excites the people. One final note for you here on the National Football League. The first game of the season is 61 days away. 60 days away. 61 when I did my notes last night. And it is the Cowboys versus the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. That game will be played on Thursday, September 4th at 8:20 p.m. You know, when this happens, it's always crazy, right? Because I've talked about this a lot. Football is now America's pastime. Okay, for the longest time, and still sometimes people will refer to baseball as America's pastime, and I get it because it was, right? For let's call it 100 years, from the late 1800s till what I would consider the late 1980s, early 1990s, baseball was America's pastime, okay? But as the sports population has evolved, as Americans have evolved, baseball has slowly drifted to the back burner as America's favorite sport. And football has taken over. For the 34, almost full 35 years that I've lived on this earth, I would tell you that football is America's pastime. I would tell you that most sports watching Americans have a diehard football team they are locked on, whether that be the National Football League or NCAA football. Now, in this case, we talk NFL. And 12 months out of the year, we talk NFL. 12 months out of the year, most of the talking heads with a microphone in front of them, like myself, though not myself, because I try not to do this, talk football. So sometimes when training camp starts, you're like, huh. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I feel like we've been talking, it's always football season. But training camp is football season. Training camp is the start of the sprint that tells you randomly you're going to wake up and you're going to be picking your fantasy team. Then all of a sudden, you're going to be like, huh, it's regular season game number 1. And just like that, we're sitting on the couch at Thanksgiving, hammering turkey, praying that our team can win and stay in the playoff fight. It happens fast. And so as excited as I get for football season is as anxious as I get. Because when football starts, it's the down tick of the warm weather. When football starts, when NFL game number 1 starts, school's back in session, summer's over. And don't get me wrong, I love football. And I love when school starts. I work at one. But it's crazy how we talk football all the time, but the minute the real season starts, just like that, you're in the regular season. So don't be too quick to jump the gun. Plenty of time to analyze who the number 3 wide receiver is. Plenty of time to see all the ACLs that are torn in the first 2 weeks. Plenty of time to hate your team, to love your team. There's definitely plenty of time for the New York Jetropolitans to mess something up. Okay? Plenty of time for Aaron Rodgers to smoke some ayahuasca. Plenty of time. But the NFL season, ladies and gentlemen, is right around the corner. Now, it's not going to be what I'm telling you.
What you watching
this weekend, because I got some other things on the docket. Let's cue the music and let's finish this show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost,
what you watching?
We're watching the Yankees versus the Cubs. Right now, the New York Yankees are stumbling into the All-Star break. They are 51-41, and they have been overtaken in the AL East. They now sit in second place behind the surging Toronto Blue Jays. The Cubbies, they're one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. Definitely, possibly the best offense in Major League Baseball. They're in first place in the NL Central, sitting at 55-38. This is going to be a fantastic series, and it's what I believe you should be watching this weekend. By the way, the Yankees have won 4 straight. Let's continue.
Hump day.
It is not hump day. My fault on that. The Rays versus the Red Sox. The Rays were streaking for a while. However, in their last 6, they've lost 4. Not good. The Red Sox, however, they're streaking over 500 again at 49-45, and they've won 6 straight, 8 of their last 10. That's going to be a good series, and it's one of the ones that I am watching this weekend. Let's finish.
What you watching?
Oh, the Dodgers versus the Giants. The Dodgers, high expectations this year. A lot of people's favorite to win another World Series. However, not playing great baseball right now. Losers of 6 straight. The Giants, they sit in second place behind the Dodgers, just 5 games back at 51-43. This is going to be a really big series down. If this turns the way of the Giants, they're 6-4 in their last 10. So they're not playing recklessly great baseball, but they're playing good enough baseball that they might be able to take 2 or 3 from the Dodgers and get just a little bit closer in the NL West. That is
what you watching
this weekend, and I think that you are going to enjoy those baseball picks. Just think, ladies and gentlemen, once you get out of the All-Star break, you are a 60-game sprint to the finish line in the Major League Baseball season. Now, a lot can still happen in 60 games, but it's time now. The trade deadline is coming up. Gonna have to make some decisions. Are we buyers? Are we sellers? What's your organization? All those answers after the All-Star break. But as we talked about at the beginning, it's time to enjoy a little home run derby. But the weekend comes first. Thanks for tuning in today on a Friday, July 11th, 2025. This has been the Rome Show. Share it with a friend. Tune back in on Monday at 7:05 a.m. Until then, have an electric weekend. This is Andrew Romanella saying peace.
Thank you for listening.